Welcome to the Prophecy Club. I've got Daniel Brigman on the phone with me today. We're going to talk about this long-term storage food. Daniel, welcome back to the Prophecy Club.
Awesome. Thank you, Stan. Great to be back.
Okay, you've been doing this 4 years. We talked about the different kinds of emergency food and the difference between MREs and dehydrated freeze-dried food, some of that stuff yesterday. However, I understand a lot of people have been calling in and they have questions. So let me ask you the questions, and you just answer the questions to the folks out there so that they can make up their mind if they need to get some food or what they want to do. So the first question is, how long will a Plan A last for? Is it really 1 year or what?
Well, when we first talked, when we started putting these together, time is very difficult. I'm not avoiding your question. I'm going to answer it. Everybody has different eating habits. Everybody has different, so forth and so forth. Plan A is a very robust package. It has almost 1,600 servings in it, and that's the meals. It also has organic chia seeds and quinoa to add nutrition. So you're talking, that's over 3 servings a day for 500 days. So with that and your eating habits, you eat more, you're a little robust. That's a very strong package for a year of gourmet meals and the high nutrition. And the Plan B is similar. A little over 6 months, and the Plan C about 3 months. So,
okay, all right. How does the food come to them? In boxes or what?
That we ship through fulfillment center. Will ship out in a nondescript box, so your neighbor won't know. Oh, look, there's food storage over there. It'll just be a brown box. Could be anything. Inside the box, when you get in the house, there'll be a bucket. Now, that bucket has a handle, has a hinge lid. It'll have a label on it. They're square. They have a ridge on the bottom so that they stack really nice.
Plastic bucket.
These are plastic. These
so
are really
it doesn't
nice
rust.
Plastic buckets.
Okay, and the varmints can't eat through it.
Yes. Ask me about varmints eating through at the end of these questions. I'll tell you a great story. But the square buckets, they stack on top of each other, real convenient. If you had to leave your house for whatever reasons, you had to get out real quick. There's a hurricane or a tornado destroyed your house, whatever. You can just grab the handle and go. Very convenient. So
it comes in boxes, but it's actually stored in plastic buckets, resealable plastic buckets.
Yes, and then you open the lid to the bucket inside of the meals in individual Mylar bags, and they have a resealable lid in case you want to use half, save half, whatever.
And the bags are very easy to take out and hide wherever you want to them if that's what you feel like you need to do. Now, how do you actually prepare this food?
Okay, so you'll take the black bag, say you pick, say cheesy potato soup or whatever. We'll just take that for example. Take the bag. You'll read the instructions. On the bag, it'll say add 6 cups of water, add whatever. You're going to boil that much water, and then you're going to dump in the ingredients and then stir it. Some of the meals, like granola, you can just eat right out of the bag. But the majority of them are boil water, follow the directions, simmer or boil, and then pour the ingredients in and stir it a few times, and then in 15 minutes or so, you're going to have a quality meal.
How long does it take to ship? In other words, if I place an order today, how long does it take to get to me?
We generally tell our customers it's ready to ship within 7 days. We usually beat that. If it's a large order or we're being inundated with order, it's going to be more than 7 days, maybe even 8 or 9 days if we're slammed. Then it ships by FedEx. It depends on where we ship from the mountain time zone. So it depends on where you live. If it's going East Coast, it'll be a little longer. Usually about 4 business days with FedEx, 3 to 5 business days by FedEx ground.
Okay, I'm going to ask another really tough question. You didn't list here. Okay, so somebody gets this, they open it up, they test it, and they say, yuck, I can't live with this, I can't eat this. Then what?
We'll take any unused portion back. If you ship it to us back, we can give you a refund. Obviously, if you open the bucket, there's going to be a shelving fee for the bucket and all that. But the unused stuff, as long as it's unopened and everything's fine, we have no problem.
Do you get a lot of people wanting to ship it back?
In 4 years, I think we've had 3 returns.
Out of how many orders?
Oh, thousands. I don't even know that. Thousands.
Okay, so most everybody's pleased. Okay, all right. On to the next question. When we get it, how long is this food designed to last?
A real important point of Numanna is the way it's packaged. The buckets, yes, there's security in the buckets. The individual bags, that's a 5 mil over-engineered bag. It has an oxygen absorber in it, and it's nitrogen fluorescent, hermetically sealed. That's very important because it's oxygen, it's temperature fluctuation, those kind of things. The ingredients themselves would shorten shelf life. So we've done all those things, and there's an art to make them to blend these ingredients. So having said all that, the way our oxygen levels are, if you store it well, you're going to have 25 plus years shelf life. Obviously, the cooler it is, the better. In a basement would be better. But a good rule of thumb is wherever you're comfortable, then your food will be comfortable. What you don't want, what you absolutely do not want, you do not want to store it in a garage, for example, because in the summer it could be, it could be 130 in there, and in the winter it could be, -5 in there. You do not want those wild swings. They will dramatically reduce the storage life. As long as you want something stable, nothing real out of the ordinary, real special, a stable environment that you would be comfortable in, your food will store very nicely.
How much do I need for a family of 4?
I get those kind of questions a lot, and that's a question I try to, when we're talking to people, we're talking to customers throughout the country, we just try to educate them what the food is. Our meals that we said, these Prophecy Club buckets are not full of, drink mix or sugary things or tons of breakfast. These are the meals themselves. The cheesy potato soup or enchilada beans and rice or sweet habanero chili. So they come in serving size. It's a 1 cup serving size. So some companies use half cup, some use quarter cup. This is a full cup serving size, and so you can get an idea of the size of the meals. So how much your family eats is going to be different than mine and different than yours. But a general rule, if you're talking 3 servings a day, a bigger guy may want 4 servings a day. If you have other things that you're eating with it to supplement, all these things is a variation. The Plan A, like we said, is a very hearty, robust package for a year. And it is, quite possibly will last more than a year. But we wanted to make sure this is a very robust package of these type of meals. So for a family of 4, if you have children, you can probably half that. You kind of have to adjust there. So you're talking about, if you had a couple Plan A's, you're talking about a very robust, hearty package for quite a long time for your family.
Okay, what about water?
Well, water is, just as essential, obviously more essential than food even for the short term. You're going to want to store some water and think about, for your case, where you live. And that's, again, an individual decision, something you're going to have to talk about. If you live near, let's say, a stream or you have a pond near you, well, then you can pretty much be assured you're going to have a water source in emergency. You have that water. Now, I would be thinking about how can I filter that water. So on our site, there'll be water filters that you can use. You just pour the water in, and the water will drip down by gravity, and then you'll have clean water. So you can use almost any water source, muddy, whatever, it doesn't matter. We also are going to have some bottles that'll come up in the next few days. Those bottles will be on there that you can use also. So that's one consideration that you're going to have is water filtration for long-term water source that you have close by. If you want another water source that you're not sure if you're going to have or what, there's another product that will be put up on the site. It's called Blue Water Can. That's water in a can. Now, this is highly purified water. It's put in almost like a Coke-sized can. It's BPA free. The can itself, the water is purified, and then put a little nitrogen in to hold it there and in the can. And it stores for 50 years. So you have these cans of water that are just sitting there, easy to use, just like a can of Coke or a can of Pepsi. You can pass them around, you can put them in a backpack, whatever, and then you're going to have some real pure drinking water. So those are 2 water options that you have.
What about just getting these like 5-gallon water things, or maybe even just the small bottles? Is there a problem with using the water that's been stored in the plastic?
I would be careful, one, about BPA. You don't want BPA and plastic leaching in your water. That's one thing to consider. But yes, there are some good products out there, and especially short term. Now, here, just a quick tip for yourself. If you sense an emergency is coming, if a tornado or whatever, one of the first things you should do is go fill your bathtub up with water. So you have potable water right there in your bathtub. That's a little tip for you. But yes, longer term storage, there are some good products. Be careful about storing plastic, leaching in plastic, those kind of things. So there are some companies out there. Maybe we'll add some of those products later on the site. But yes, that is a good thing and a good thing to consider.
Now, I know these come in plastic buckets, And you would think that varmints couldn't get through to eat through them. Is that true? Or tell us about varmint infestation. Is that a problem?
Yes, it is. And you got to kind of be careful where you put your food. I'll tell you a story about our packaging. Now, I told you a little earlier about superior packaging and what the lengths we go to make sure the food stores fresh. That isn't just a talking point. I'll give you a story. We're always testing other people's food, trying it out, seeing what's out there, and we always want to stay on the cutting edge and the top of the industry. One time in our house, in our pantry, we got a mouse. Oh, freaked my wife out. We had, I don't know, 6 or 7 different companies in our pantry from all, major brands, all different companies in there. And Numanna also was in there. That mouse chewed the corner off of every single package in that pantry except Numanna. And it puzzled me at first. It's not like a mouse couldn't, as you see the packages as you get them, a mouse could chew through that easily. And it puzzled me. Why did he not chew Numanna but chew the other one? I mean, did he not like Numanna? What was the problem? And it finally dawned on me as I was talking to one of my friends. The mouse chewed those packages and not Numanna because they could smell food through the package in the other companies, but not Numanna. And so that goes to the point of varmints are not going to get into your food if they can't smell it. And so, yes, the mouse can chew through a plastic bucket, but if they smell no food, if they have no reason to, they wouldn't. And so that goes to how well we make this package.
Well, let me just tell you about why I decided to start offering these emergency foods. As you recall, back in the Y2K days, a lot of people were getting the food. And then, of course, We'll be right back after this message. Come and go with the Prophecy Club to Israel. November 5 to 15, Leslie and I will take you on a biblical archaeology and a Bible prophecy tour. A tour like none other. What makes our tour different than the other tours? Well, we're going to take you to the traditional sites the other tours go on, but we're going beyond. We're going to show you the places and give you information other tours can't. In 1991, Leslie and I went on a tour with Ron Wyatt. He showed us archaeological secrets in Israel we're going to show to you, such as the iron spike that sealed the tomb of Jesus, proving Gordon's Calvary really is the tomb of Jesus. And you're going to pick up brimstone from the city of Gomorrah. You'll gather tar drips from the slime pits of Sodom. You'll visit the more likely birthplace of Jesus, not the one the tour buses stop at. In a special escort, you'll get to go behind the gates at the Garden of Gethsemane and pray. And if the drilling permit has been granted, we'll also go pray over the future drill sites for prophetic oil. Yes, you'll see many of the traditional sites, but this tour goes way beyond. Call 310-402-4042. That's 310-402-4042 for more information. Seating is limited. 310-402-4042. And now, back to the program. As you recall, back in the Y2K days, a lot of people were getting the food. And then, of course, the Y2K never happened. But then we never had it, thus saith the Lord, that it was going to happen. As a matter of fact, Michael Boldea specifically told me that it was not coming. But nevertheless, a lot of people prepared, and there's nothing wrong with those preparations. However, in light of all of these late prophecies that are coming forth, things that are saying that this September, October, November, things are going to start falling apart, I thought it's probably a good idea to do something like that, but I just dismissed it, thinking, well, I don't even know what I was thinking. But one day I got a phone call from my agent. This is the guy that puts us on radio and TV stations. He's been our agent for over 20 years now, very, very close friend and loves the Lord. And he said, I'm going to say that I think you guys need to start offering emergency food again. My exact response was, yeah, no, I don't think I'd know. But I'll talk to Leslie about it, but no, probably not. Well, later on that afternoon, I said, oh, hey, by the way, he's called, and he thinks we ought to start offering emergency food again. What do you think? She says, I think we should. Really? Really? She says, yes. I think people need to I told you, the Lord told me that people do need to make these preparations. While they can't make preparations for every eventuality, they should at least try to prepare. Really? I said, well, okay, I'll think about it some more. And after thinking about it some more and praying about it some more, I felt like that's the thing to do. So I called him back and I said, okay, let's do it. And one thing led to another, and all of a sudden, here we are doing it. And I might say a similar thing kind of happened with Israel. My wife and I were talking probably 4 to 6 weeks ago one morning, and she popped up and said, I think we need to go to Israel again. I said, really? And so after 30 minutes of discussion, we decided that we were going to go ahead and put together another tour going to Israel too. But I think that tour going to Israel is going to be a supernatural event. I think many mighty miracles, and I'm not talking about healings, I'm talking about miracles in terms of oil in Israel are going to happen. So I really encourage you to get signed up. But I also think us offering emergency food, and I think you getting emergency food, I think it is the hand of the Lord. While I cannot guarantee these things are coming legally, I think as a prophecy student, you would be making a huge mistake not to make certain that you have at least 1 year of food, water, and whatever preparations, so that if they said martial law is declared and you cannot leave your home, and they were not going to say, hey, you can't leave your home for 1 year. They'll say you can't leave your home right now. But let's say they say 1 whole year you can't leave your home. No water, no electricity, no food. What are you going to do? You need to be prepared for that. And if you are, then I think you're in a good position. I don't think it's time to leave America yet. Back to you.
Those are all great points. And let me tell you a little bit about my experience and kind of my background. And I'm not trying to give the hard sell or whatever. People have to make their own decisions. Let me tell you about my family, my grandfather. Many people, like you, my grandparents grew up in the Depression. My grandfather was very self-reliant, was very a spirit of independence. That was America, and that was passed down to me. He tells the story about when he was a small child. He was 8 years old in 1930. He was born in 1922. His family was so poor, so poor. His father had died as an injury from World War I. He died earlier that year from being gassed in World War I. There was no father. It was his mother and 3 children. They were so poor, they had to ship their youngest child to one of the relatives because they were afraid she was going to starve to death because they didn't have food to feed her. There were days when my grandfather, all he had to eat was a potato, and not even a cooked one, an uncooked potato. He understood what could happen. We're so far removed from this possibility of things not being, I can just run to Walmart and get food. I have a job. Everything's fine. But it's not out of the question, and it has already happened in America before. Now, not to be negative, not to beat that horse, but being prepared in the face of certain things to come and certain possibilities is just a smart idea. It is America. It is a spirit of independence. It is our founding fathers. That's kind of the spirit that even coming to America, the pilgrims coming here, having to rely on your own family and your own friends is historically America. Now, financially, everybody knows the price of food's going up. Not taking apart martial law, putting that aside for a second, putting aside disasters, putting aside tornadoes, hurricanes, and what have you. The price of your food is going to cost more in 2 years than it costs today. Pretty much everybody agrees to that. If you can freeze your food price with quality food today, in 2 years, you're going to reap the rewards of that inflation benefit. You're going to save your money, save your pocketbook, and have good storable food for your family that you bought at 2 years ago prices. That's just a smart financial decision. I've been in this business about 4 years. When we first started going to shows, talking to customers, there was a hesitancy, there was an unknown about storable foods, and there was people were like, I don't know. Fast forward to today. In mainstream America, as we go throughout, almost everybody we talk to has some concern about what's going on in this country. You are not alone. What Stan is telling you is certainly not way out of the woods from what very smart people are saying in this country. There's trouble, there's uncertainty, and smart families are taking steps to secure their future and secure themselves. That's why I got into this business. That's why I feel very good offering the product that we do. I feel very good about this partnership with Prophecy Club Food, being able to offer these packages. There's no question that the things that Stan talks about, the upset, the turmoil, is certainly right out there in front of us. You'd have to have your head in the sand to not say that, oh, these look like these are real possibilities. I should take action. The wise man looks out and takes action. The Bible, Proverbs tell us that. Feel very strongly, Stan and I, we've talked a lot. This is a very important decision for your family, and we're proud to offer these things for you.
Okay, guys, if you would like to find out more about it, go to prophecyclubfood.com. That's prophecyclubfood.com. Look through what they have. I recommend a Plan A at a minimum for each person. Plan A is one person 1 year. Plan B is one person 6 months. Plan C, one person 3 months. And then a grab and go has 76 servings in it. I suggest you call after you've looked at the website, 800-924-7110 if you have questions. That's 800-924-7110. But first go to prophecyclubfood.com. And according to what Mina Grebin says she was told from the Lord, she was told everybody needs to have at least 1 year of food and water, and you need to have it before the end of the 2015 summer. Now, it's not immediate, but it's getting to the emergency stage. It's getting to the urgent stage. You got a little time. I know you may not have the money in the account right now, but begin to make preparations. Now, Daniel, that's a question. Is it better if they order a little bit here and there, or do they save on shipping if they get it all put in one big order?
Well, one of the things that, one of the customers asked, can they pay half for it this week and then half, next week or a couple weeks from now? And we can split them up in halves like that. Yes, if they buy it all together, there is a shipping savings, but look, any preparation is better than no preparation. I would definitely encourage everybody to start with what they can start with. I mean, take steps as you can take steps. You don't need to, bankrupt yourself to do this. But
now, you offer also more than just food. You also offer water filters. And by the way, folks, I like the Berkey water filter, and you can get that at prophecyclub.com. But you have other water filters, other things other than just food and water filters. I mean, you have all kinds of emergency supplies for people to help with their needs, correct?
We have the water in a can. We're adding a rocket stove. We've gone through a couple of companies. We're looking for everything that we want to put on there. We want high quality, and it's going to perform when you need it. So as time goes on, we're going to be adding those type of products so that you'll see come.
Yeah, like I said, the bitterness of poor quality lasts longer than the sweetness of good price. I used to teach in the sales course 25 years ago that quality is like, I think John Ruskin said this, quality is like buying oats. If you want fresh, clean oats, then you must pay a fair price for them. On the other hand, if you can accept those that have already been through the horse, of course, those are a little cheaper. So when it comes to emergency food, I recommend you not cut corners. I also recommend you get busy doing something about this. prophecyclubfood.com, prophecyclubfood.com, 800-924-7110, 800-924-7110. Daniel, one last word before we're gone.
Well, I just want to say how pleased that Numanna is to be able to offer these packages. This is part of our Christian mission to this, and there's at the heart of our business. And to be able to associate with you and to help families make decisions, to help them, gives me a great peace of mind. Thank you very much.
Go to prophecyclubfood.com, check it out, place an order. If you do have questions, 800-924-7110. Daniel, thanks for being on. We'll have to have you back again.
Hey, thank you. God bless everybody.
I want to jump to another topic. This past Sunday, I made a brand new DVD called 2014 to 2021. And the reason I call it that is because I believe that this is a picture of what is going to come to America and to the world, but mostly to America, in the years 2014 to 2021. Now, before I even started, I gave lots of disclaimers, and that is none of this, save one prophecy from me, one prophecy from Leslie, but none of the rest of it comes from us. This is all from the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. In other words, every one of the points that I'm about to read to you, I have in this new DVD that you can call 785-266-1112 or prophecyclub.com and order right now for a gift of $30. Now listen to what I'm about to say. In 22 years of being in the Prophecy Club, I think that this is probably, if it's not the most, it's definitely one of the 2 most important DVDs we've ever put out. Listen carefully to the topics. What I tell you is that September 25th, 2014 started the last 7 years of plenty. In other words, we're in the last of the good days, and those days are about to get really hard. Also, I tell you what Lindsey Williams was told, September 25th, 2015, the Pope will announce that they have formed a new world order, a world government from the United Nations, and then he'll go to the U.S. Congress. He will hold up a piece of paper saying all of the world leaders have agreed to form a world government. Guys, this is big, and I'm telling you with all of my heart, get this DVD. If you've ever believed anything I've told you, get this DVD. This is rock solid information. Also, I'm going to tell you why I believe the 7-year tribulation is from the years 2022 to 2028. Now, that's not me saying that, but I believe based upon, again, get the DVD, I'll explain to you why. I also talk about the global currency reset and what it is and why it is the event that starts all of this trouble that is just about to hit this fall. I also talk about how welfare checks are going to stop. And that starts protests. When they don't get the welfare checks coming after the protests, then they begin to burn the cities. Obama will then declare martial law. He'll stay in office for up to 5 years. He'll suspend the Constitution and all of our rights. You will no longer have a right to remain silent, a right to an attorney, a right to be charged or released within 48 hours. We will have in America people disappearing in the night, and we will see those FEMA barbed wire prison camps begin to fill up. You know, the ones that don't exist, okay? Then the local militias will form. They will start firing their weapons at the Obama men. I call them Obama men because we don't know, are they military or what? But there's going to be some people out there that are having curfews and checkpoints and arresting people without any due process. Then this will start the internal revolution that started by the communists that Dmitry Duduman was told about. Some of the people start fighting against the government. Then, after the guns have been confiscated, Russia attacks and defeats America in one day, and then the Christian martyrdom begins. It's all in this DVD called 2014 to 2021. 785-266-1112 or prophecyclub.com. Gift of $30, and it's well worth it. If I charged what it's worth, I'd probably charge anywhere from $200 to $500. I'm telling you, get this DVD. 785-266-1112, prophecyclub.com. Title is 2014 to 2021. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your gifts of support. God bless. Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. It's time for our summer blowout. You can get 20 DVDs for a gift of $160. That's only $8 each. 10 for a gift of $100. That's $10 each. 7 for a gift of $120. That's $17 each. 4 DVDs for a gift of $85. That's $21 each. Or 2 DVDs for a gift of $50. $25 each. But you got to call 785-266-1112. That's 785-266-1112. And the offer ends soon. The next speaker at the Prophecy Club is the very popular Bill Sneblin. Saturday evening, he's going to be speaking on vaccines, mind control, and the mark. Topics are the history of vaccines and their gross beginnings, Big Pharma and the Illuminati New World Order, biblical and medical reasons not to receive vaccines, mind and population control, and the mark of the beast. That's Saturday, July the 11th, 7 to 10:30. Then, Sunday morning, he'll be speaking on resisting unto blood. Topics are spiritual warfare on a more intense level, taking back what the enemy has stolen, many new weapons not found in Ephesians 6, the best defense is a good offense, the power of the armor of light, bringing heavenly power into your dreams. That's Sunday morning, July 12th, 9:30 to noon. Meeting is free at the Spirit of Prophecy Church, 2540 K Avenue. That's behind the Whataburger corner of Park and K. Or order both DVDs for a gift of $40 at prophecyclub.com. That's Saturday night, Sunday morning, 11 and 12. Details, prophecyclub.com. See you there!